Imus in the morning.
Well, I've been looking forward to this day all day.
What?
All week.
Oh.
Do I know what I mean? I guess not.
That's a little different.
Wake up. I am so out of it.
God almighty.
So, Melissa Francis is going to be on.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of a lot of stuff with this psycho about this this book she wrote, Diary of a Stage Mother's Daughter, in which she's been on a number of times, and but there are all of these questions that I've never asked her.
Oh.
Now, she probably answers them in the book,
Well.
but I'm not going to read the book because the book is scary. And it begins,
Yes.
in which they're riding along in the car, Melissa, her mom, and her sister, and her mom decides Melissa did something to torque the mom off. So Melissa's 8 years old. So the mom slams the brakes on the cars and said, "Get out." Mm-hmm. And while you're at it, find another place to live. So that's the way the book starts. And so, and Melissa is only 8 years old, as I said. She decides at that moment that, well, F you. So she hides so her mom can't find her. So her mom just goes home. And then Melissa eventually shows up at home. But there's so many other questions that I have about this whole thing. And it's what we're going to find out. So I like Melissa, but we need some answers.
Yes. Find out here.
And then Father Jonathan Morris, he's going to be on. We need some answers from him.
Oh, we do?
Well, we got this cardinal over there in Rome.
Oh.
Or someplace. So this stooge spent $40 million fixing up his crib.
No, you mean the bishop, the bishop of Bling in Germany.
Yeah,
The German guy, right. A lot of money.
Well, they have now changed that little facility that he was living in into a soup kitchen or something. They're going to feed the homeless and the poor people.
Oh, that's nice.
should have been doing that in the first place.
So
Well, first of all,
it's a happy ending.
how does he get access to the $40 million? Well, we all put money in the pot every. How many times do they pass a plate at one of these Catholic services anyway?
Once or twice.
Yeah, usually
depending
once.
on.
So they run the buckets. We used to call it in the Baptist church.
The second collection will be for my
So
kid.
they run the buckets
And
a couple times.
It's all voluntary, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. So
Then there will be a bake sale on.
oh, this is outrageous. And so they're taking that money from these poor bastards, giving the money that they think to Jesus,
Right.
and that Jesus is not getting it. Some Nazi's getting it to fix up his pad.
Nazi.
I think Nazi might be a little over the top here.
Huh?
The story is that the new pope found out about some abusive spending being perpetrated, and he fixed it, and now he turned it into he's feeding the poor and the sick, and you're honked off.
Yep.
You should
And
be
what's
happy.
up? Well, I'm honked off. It happened in the first place.
Well, of course, who isn't?
And by the way, this is just the thing we know about. I mean, it's like the abuse. It's like the priest glomming onto the kids.
Oh,
But
please.
we've just barely. That's the tip of the iceberg. So.
That is a 20th century thing. They've addressed
Oh,
it.
my
They've
God.
reformed
First of
it.
all,
It's all. That is a.
We are going to get to the bottom before I retire of what you've been suppressing all of the years you've been working for me. So obviously, it's been 25 years. We're going to find out what it is, why you have snakes in your head. Right. That's why.
Whatever it is I went through it again after I started working for you.
Worse. You don't want to find out.
I had to fend that off for a couple of years.
Oh, no, not again.
Oh, it's Father Imus.
What's coming up in
Father Dime.
I'm reliving the nightmares again.
It's Father Imus.
what's coming up in business news, Dagan?
Why are you locking that door?
All flyer.
What?
All,
You mean
what?
Lou wasn't enough?
I mean, how come Lou's not here this time?
Hey, all flyers can use their gadgets gate to gate now when they fly.
Oh, you have to turn your cell phone off because so the
great.
plane won't crash or
Charles,
whatever.
please come back to the office. Charles McCarver, please come back to the office.
And then Kinky Friedman's going to be on. And happy birthday to Kinky Friedman.
All right.
Kinky's running for Texas Agriculture Commissioner, which I am. I've been officially endorsed him, and will be contributing to his campaign. I don't contribute to political campaigns. The only other time that I contributed to a campaign, I gave $1,000 to Kinky Friedman when he was running for Justice of the Peace in Kerrville, because I was promised that I would have special influence were I ever in Kerrville. Now, I'd only been to Kerrville a couple times. I haven't been there since. And it was a moot point anyway because Kinky was not successful in running for Justice of the Peace in Kerrville. This woman was elected, and there were 3 people running. There was this woman and a guy who had murdered his dog with a hatchet, and Kinky, and I believe Kinky came in 3rd.
Wow, well, somebody had to.
So,
I like it here.
it was not good. So it was humiliating for Kinky and me.
Right. Well,
Now he should have been elected governor of Texas, and I can't tell you how many people. I've been all over Texas, and I go there every 2 weeks, and I can't. And I just bought a ranch in Texas, and I can't tell you how many people I run into that say they voted for Kinky, but they're lying bastards, because if everybody who I run into in Texas, if they had voted for Kinky, he'd be governor of Texas today. So he should be. So there's nothing. I mean, Rick Perry's fine, but Kinky would have been, and at some point may be a great governor, and he'll certainly be a fine agriculture commissioner. So we'll talk about that. All that's coming up, and then Dice Clay's here and some other stuff.
We'll be here now.
What's coming up in your briefing, Bernie?
Excuse me. We have Tim McCarver's icy response to Joe Buck's seemingly heartfelt farewell to Mr. McCarver on the air, and also some amusing drunken Red Sox fan video. And Hallmark cards, they take the gay out of Deck the Halls, and they're under fire, and I'll tell you all about it, boss.
Icy response?
Yes.
Okay, I watched a little bit of the football game last night, Warner, and it looked, Andy Dalton got intercepted there, and the guy ran it all the way back from the Miami people.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's the quarterback for the Bengals. So I shut my set off then, figuring it was over. But they wound up going to overtime.
Yeah.
And once they got to overtime, what happened?
The Dolphins won the game on a safety. A safety. Questionable safety. If you watch the Fox Business News, the question is, was Andy Dalton in the end zone, or was he pushed in the end zone?
Right.
And the referee said he was in the end zone.
Oh.
So that ended the game.
Well, we have an opportunity to view that.
Yes, we should. The replay, you can tell. You can't tell on the regular, but the replay, it's a terrific replay, ground level. And the question is, was he in the end zone? Or was he pushed in the end zone?
Oh, he was pushed in the end zone.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, he was absolutely pushed in the end zone.
Yes.
He was in the end zone, then he stepped out of the end zone.
Yes.
And then the big steroid sucking moose,
yes.
from the Dolphins pushed him in the end zone.
That's what it looked like.
there's a ball.
Oh, yeah, that's not a safety.
It shouldn't have been.
That's an outrage. That's an outrage.
Yeah, that's what Marvin Lewis said.
All right, let's start now with the news at 13 after the hour. And here with that is Colin McShane. Morning, Colin.
Hey, good morning, Iman. Well, there are slow starts, and then there are slow starts. A grand total of 6 people signed up for Obamacare on day 1 of the rollout, Iman. Those are the new numbers that we have on that.
What?
6 people.
Yeah, a total of 6 people, yeah, around the whole country, according to this.
I mean, that's why they wouldn't. That's why the president or Sebelius or any of these people wouldn't give us the number.
And still won't.
Certainly appears that way. This actually came...
6 people?
Right. 6 people total. I mean, this is from the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and there's some internal notes from a meeting that were taken right after the first day, and this where the number 6 people came from. It went up to like 100 the next day and 250 or so the third. But as you said, the official enrollment numbers aren't out yet. They're saying middle of November. 6 people. Now, for some perspective, if you need it,
We have more people who sign up for Inside Imus
Right.
at Imus.com every day than they do for their stupid health care plan. Well, they ain't nuts.
Inside Imus, that's right. They need 39,000 people a day to get to their goal of 7 million by the 1st of March. So have to pick it up a little bit. Well, maybe they already have, right? Was Joe Biden kicked off the ticket? That's another big question this morning. This new book out from the guys who wrote Game Change. John Heilman and Mark Halpern, saying the Obama campaign quietly considered dumping Biden in favor of Hillary Clinton.
Oh, that's nonsense. I mean, I'm sure they did, but
Right.
I'm sure they considered a lot of things.
Exactly.
So.
They eventually, of course.
We have the inside story on it.
Well, that, I mean,
They kept Biden, of course, as we know by now, but they went through the polling and everything else and figured it wasn't worth their while to kick him out. The NSA story still in the news. Reports about the Australian embassy in Jakarta being used as a hub for the American collection of information. So with things like that coming out, NSA Director General Keith Alexander thinks Americans should be aware what's on the line here. Over 2,000 people, he says, killed, 1,500 injured by terrorists just this month in October in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, and Nigeria.
Over the past decade, we've had no mass casualties here, and that's not by accident. That's not luck. That's great work, great partnership, and the tools and stuff that we need to prevent terrorist acts.
There you go. That's why they do what they do, he says. So it'll be harder to get an abortion in Texas starting today. This has been a big story in Texas, and now more than a third of abortion clinics in the state could be closed today because an appeals court says the tough new abortion restrictions indeed can take effect immediately while they're being challenged. So they're going to allow them to go forward. Here's a state representative named Jonathan Strickland saying the ruling reflects his views and those of his constituents.
As I'm out there and I'm talking and I'm block walking, talking to my constituents, they value life. And it's something that kids are starting to understand at a much greater level than before, too.
Well,
okay, that's good.
yeah.
Coming up on 17 after the hour, big news. Tony Powell's appearing at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club in Point Pleasant, New Jersey tonight and tomorrow night.
That is big. That is big.
So if you're looking for something to do, it's this Friday night.
Yeah, get partying.
Let's
And
go.
I would take my baby out for a little snack or something.
Right.
A Red Lobster.
Along those lines, huh?
Go to IHOP. Hey, that's better yet.
IHOP and
Go
Tony.
to IHOP, get you a Belgian waffle and some hash browns, a Diamond, and then go see Tony Powell. For tickets, you could go to UncleVinny'sComedyClub.com or just show up at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club there in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Tony will be there tonight and tomorrow night. All right, 17 after the hour. Have you done your business news yet?
No, sir, I have not.
What's going on?
Good morning, sir. The Dow lost 73 points yesterday on the final trading day of the month, but it was a great month for stocks. The blue chips were up 416 points in October, even with the shutdown. Futures are higher this morning. And by year end, airline travelers will be able to use their Kindles, tablets, and other gadgets during all stages of flight. Gate to gate, baby. The federal
You have to have your device on in airplane mode.
Yes, and laptops must be stowed on takeoff and landing.
Yeah.
However, and praise the baby Jesus for this, you cannot make cell phone calls during flight, because I don't want to hear that dingbat talking about that one-night stand that she had in the big city and then ponder out loud why she suddenly has a rash to her friend on the phone.
13 after the hour here on the Imus in the morning. Is there a car race this weekend?
Real itchy.
In Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, there is.
Yes.
And where are we with that, the NASCAR thing?
Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth are tied for the top spot in the chase.
I like Jimmy Johnson.
And then Jeff Gordon is third.
I like Jeff Gordon, too.
So 3 races left: Texas, Phoenix, and then Homestead, Florida for the final race.
And Dale Earnhardt, he has no chance of winning, right?
No, he's dead. His son is out of the running.
Not one of the favorites.
Good catch.
That's a good point.
You know, you're evil. Really, you are. You're a sick woman.
Not gonna win.
You know who I meant.
You know, can I say something, though? That is something that you would have done to all of us. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's not winning this year.
Well, say what you
19
mean,
after the hour.
McDowell with the block of that shot.
All right, time for a little sports. And that's sponsored by Peerless Boilers. And here with sports is Warner Wolf. Morning, Warner.
Morning, Iman. Thursday night football in Miami. In overtime, the Dolphins beat the Bengals 22-20 on
Weren't many people there in the stands. Did you see that, Warner?
No, yeah.
That's refreshing, actually. Morons.
A questionable safety to end the game. 3rd and 10 from their own 8.
Yeah.
Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton backpedaled, was tackled by Miami defensive end Cameron Waite, and the officials said he was in the end zone. Now, here was the biased call by Jimmy Cefalo, WINZ Miami.
Dolphins secondary looks a bit confused. Here they come. And he's hit into the end zone. It's a sack. Safety. The Dolphins win the football game. It's a safety.
Well, you see the replay, and it doesn't look like it. Here was Bengal coach Marvin Lewis.
In my opinion,
he was pushed in the end zone.
The ball was out of the end zone. And so, I mean, he was, but I don't get it.
Yeah, they should still be playing. Miami punts from their own end zone.
Well, they wouldn't still be playing. Somebody would have been.
Don't be silly.
12 hours later, Warner.
It could be.
Man,
good,
you lost your mind?
Good chance of that.
Yeah.
NBA last night, full house, 22,000 in Chicago. The Bulls beat the Knicks 82-81. Derrick Rose, 7-foot running floater over 7-foot Tyson Chandler wins it. Here was the call, Chuck Swirsky, WMVP Chicago.
Into the hands of Butler, wide to the right, Rose. Baseline right, pull up, teardrop. Got it! Derrick Rose! Onions, baby onions! 5.7 seconds left.
That's it. And then Carmelo Anthony.
Game 2.
Carmelo Anthony.
That's right.
Game 2. Onions!
Carmelo Anthony missed an open 22-footer at the buzzer. Here was Anthony after the game.
I was just trying to create some space between me and Luau. So I knew if I just, game a move and backed them up a little bit to where as though I can get some space that I had a good chance for that shot going in.
Yeah, but it didn't go in. No. Only 8 for 24 from the field.
Makes you want to say, damn.
And at the Staples Center, where Doc Rivers covered up all the Lakers championship banners and the retired Laker jerseys, the Clippers beat the Warriors 126-115, 42 points, 15 assists, Chris Paul. And the Red Sox will hold their victory parade tomorrow, Iman, at 10 a.m. And the youngest player in the series was Red Sox third baseman Xander Bogaerts, who just turned 21. And appreciative Bogaerts had this message for the loyal Red Sox fans.
He's looking at you, kid.
And good news.
One of those sports is not sponsored by Peerless Boilers this time. It's sponsored by Short Hills Aviation. If you're smart, savvy, and successful, you don't want to fly anyone other than Short Hills Aviation. And because Warner did that lame Bogaerts deal,
yes,
he's now being suspended for the rest of this. Sportscast is 22 FDR. What's coming up in your briefing, Bernie?
Tim McCarver, Joe Buck, drunken Boston Red Sox fans, and a lot of late-night laughs for the I-Man.
So you're claiming this is an ugly incident between Joe Buck and...
I will play the tape, and you can decide, boss.
Did you have anything else, Warner, by the way?
Well, you settled on a place in the Houston area. Is that...
yeah.
You might be interested that Houston University last night beat South Florida. Rice lost to North Texas. Yeah. And Arizona State beat Washington State 55-21, leading 52-21 in the fourth quarter. Arizona State coach Todd Graham kicked a field goal to make it 55-21. Obviously, he had Arizona State and gave 33 points.
Now you are 23 after the hour. Happy birthday once again to Kinky Friedman, who will be on this program in a couple of hours. Here he is now.
Time to resign from the human race. Wipe those tears from your lovely face. Baby, wave to the man in the old red caboose before all hell breaks loose. Before you go, I wish you'd come. Before you leave, wish you'd love me some. I'll give you all of the dreams you can use before all
many times you hit that snooze button this morning. You know what I noticed? I woke up around 3, and for some reason I thought I had a couple of more hours of sleep, which I didn't. But I did go back to sleep, and I went back into such a deep sleep, in that REM sleep. That's some kind of weird dream. I forget what it was about. But, I mean, well, the point being that I've got these MyPillows. I know I talk about it every morning, and it's probably like white noise to you. Now you figure, well, yeah, fine. But you really should try one of them. So, because like I have a cold, I don't feel like right. But because I'm able to get a good night's sleep because of the pillow, I have enough energy to come in here and do this program, which is fun. So, and part of that is because I'm getting a decent night's sleep, which you can get if you get yourself a MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and do this. Come on. This morning program is sponsored by Path Medical, where you get a head-to-toe checkup that adds quality years to your life, unless, of course, they find a big old hairy tumor and tell you you have a week to live. 1-888-304-PATH, P-A-T-H, which that would be not great information. So.
No.
But go ahead and get the checkup to find out, you know, if, in fact, you're on the precipice of croaking.
Right.
It's time for a Bernie briefing, and that's sponsored by MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and maybe order express delivery so you get it before you die. So at least you get a couple of good nights' sleep before you get the, a long sleep. Anyway, good morning, Bernie.
Morning, boss. It was Tim McCarver, our friend, your friend, Tim McCarver's last game the other night at the Boston Red Sox finale, the World Series. And there have been rumors that he and Joe Buck, like perpetuated by websites like Deadspin.com, which we use a lot here, that they don't like each other. Well, Jimmy Fallon got his hands on their closing, their goodbye from the World Series that night, and he played it on the air. And because he played it, we'll let him comment on it right afterwards. Take a listen.
You're the best to ever do this in this sport, and it has been an absolute honor and a pleasure over these 18 years, 16 World Series. You are the best, and I love you. I love you like a brother. I love you like a best friend, and thanks for all that you've brought into my life, both in a booth and outside a booth.
Ditto.
Ditto. Ditto. I'd hate to be Tim McCarver's wife on Valentine's Day. I love you, honey, more than anything in the world. Right back at you.
It did seem sort of icy on McCarver's part.
Maybe he was choked up.
No, it didn't.
Not at all.
No, you're trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah. Not me.
Fallon was kind of funny.
Hey, jerk.
By the way, I'm not in your. I don't agree with you about Jimmy Fallon. I think Jimmy Fallon's going to be terrific. I mean, I don't think Jimmy Fallon is Jon Stewart. I don't think there's only one Jon Stewart. But I think Jimmy Fallon's going to be terrific doing the Tonight Show, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
He absolutely is.
Okay. All right. Well,
and you're wrong. You're dead wrong.
Let's all hug and say a prayer.
No, but I'm just saying.
Well, when Father Jonathan
I don't know
out.
the guy, never met him. Or anything. I'm just telling you that he's going to be fine. He's going to be better than fine. He's going to be good.
Going to be a rock star. No, he's a very talented young man. And Jimmy Kimmel last night, who's actually better than Jimmy Fallon, last night he got his hands on some Red Sox fan tape celebration after the game. Listen to Kimmel from last night.
The Red Sox beat the Cardinals of St. Louis last night. Of course, Red Sox fans were very excited, but maybe none more excited than this enthusiastic gentleman.
So you were in there?
I was, yeah. Describe it for me. Absolutely insane. Best night of my life. Biggest win in years, baby.
Night of your life? Best night of your life?
Pretty much. I have a pretty bad life. Yeah! Red Sox!
That went downhill fast. I've never seen such a cheerful cry for help.
There's your typical sports fan right there. That's the kind of guy who gets liquored up and punches a woman after the game.
34 after the hour. Father Jonathan Morris is next. Well, best version of a Chuck Berry song I believe I've ever heard. Well, I love it.
He was arrested on charges of unemployment. He was standing at the witness stand. The judge's wife, she told the district attorney, you better free that brown-eyed man. You want your job, you better free that brown-eyed man. I went flying across the desert on a TWA. I saw a woman walking across the sand. She been walking 30 miles en route to Bombay. Brown-eyed, handsome man, a destination was a brown-eyed, handsome man.
20 minutes to the hour here at the Imus Morning Program. Please welcome now to the Imus Morning Morning Program our old friend, Father Jonathan Morris. Father Jonathan, how are you?
Very well. Although it's no fun being a priest, a real priest on Halloween on a New York City subway. No fun.
Because they think it's a costume.
Good outfit, man.
Great outfit, and if you're coming back from a late night dinner on Halloween, lower east side of Manhattan, West Village, not good.
Did you? Why didn't you just go with it? Trick or treat.
What does that mean, huh?
We'll just say trick or treat or whatever. So.
No, I just tried to get out of that subway as fast as I could.
So
they were not looking for candy. They were not trying to give me candy. It was just a very awkward situation.
You were born in Cleveland, Ohio?
I was.
When?
1972. That's very personal. We went.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I was in Cleveland that night. No, I wasn't. I'd come to New York then. How long did you stay in Cleveland?
Until I was 2, and then I left.
Where'd you go then?
I went with my parents. We moved when I was 2 to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Huh. What did your parents do?
My dad's an attorney. My mom is a social worker, but had 7 kids and stayed at home.
Huh. And you became a priest when you were, what, 21?
I left for the seminary when I was 21, and then I was ordained a priest when I was 30.
What's this again now?
So I left to the after college. I went to the seminary to study philosophy and theology, and was ordained a priest. Became a priest when I was 30.
That's a little late, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm slow.
Oh. So, well, what did you do in college?
I studied business.
Right. And you were like a regular person then, right? I mean, you weren't a...
Exactly.
No,
yes.
You hadn't subscribed to this vow of celibacy at that point.
That's right.
Right.
Oh, I see where we're going.
We're not going anywhere. I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
the subway.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah,
Back to the subway.
Now we see.
Trick or treat.
So then you have
the psycho in the subway.
Hey, Father.
So you had this parish or whatever downtown, right?
I did. Yep. And now I'm at. So that was down in Soho, and now I'm uptown and at Columbia University.
Well, I never got the
campus
full
ministry.
story of why the change. Did you do something or?
No, why you're always looking on the dark side, the dark possibilities. No. I was there for 4 years. I was there for 4 years. The cardinal, my boss, invited me to go up and to be up at a parish uptown.
Up Columbia?
At Columbia, and Corpus Christi is the parish, and then I work in Catholic campus ministry at Columbia University.
So what exactly do you do? What's your job?
I'm there to counsel students. I celebrate masses for the students, for the professors, for the Columbia University community. It's a good place.
Do you like it? Do you like it better?
I do. No, I don't know about better. I loved it downtown as well.
Do students come to you with their problems, stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. But earlier, right before we went on air, I think you said something, or Connell said something like, forgive me, Father, for I will sin. That's not contrition. When students come to me, they come because they've had a problem. They're much more honest, and they say, this is what I've done, or this is what I'm going through. Here on this set, it's like...
Right. No, I never said anything. Connell might have. I'm not Catholic.
I apologized in advance to Father Morris for the interview you were about to conduct. So.
Why? What did I do?
That's what it was. That's right here.
No.
So, what do you think happens when you die?
I think there's judgment. I think God judges us.
Right.
That there's
like
a
in a
review
lineup or what?
I don't know about a lineup. We don't know exactly what it's going to be like, but I think there's got to be ultimate justice. I think that's part of the explanation of why do bad things happen to good people. There's got to be, if God is all powerful and all good, there's got to be some sort of ultimate justice. And I think there's a purification process then of some sort. We don't know what that's like. And then I think those who accept God's mercy will be with him forever in heaven.
So you don't really have a good answer.
That's as good as I can get. That's what I believe. I believe that's what actually happens.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I believe that to be true. Why do you think that's a bad answer? What would be
so is there some test you have to pass, or?
I think our life is the test. It's not going to be something that he's going to offer us here. We've got 10 questions. Let's see if you can get these right. No, our life right now is the test.
Like if you're a Baptist, which was what I was essentially raised, you have to accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. And some people are into the born again thing. I always thought being born once was sufficient, but that in order to gain salvation, that's what you need to do. So you need to acknowledge that you need to accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, and acknowledge that He was the Son of God. So,
well, that comes from the Scripture, not in exactly those words, but I think there's different ways as well to accept God and to accept redemption and salvation from Him. And I would never say this person is definitely going to heaven, this person definitely is not. I believe in God's mercy, and I believe there's got to be consequences for actions, but at the same time, we are all God's children, we believe, and I don't think God is going to be up there saying, hey, listen, I think this guy got the formula wrong. And
what do you think happens to Jews when they die?
I believe that all of us have the possibility for redemption. And I think there's going to be a lot of people in heaven, Jews and even non-professing Christians right now, who will be in heaven with us.
Well, what do Jews have to do if they don't believe in?
I think God will give each and every one of us, will reveal Himself to us in different ways and allow us to accept His mercy.
So you think Jews have to come around in order to gain access?
I think we all have to come around.
That's not a good answer.
It's true.
No, but I mean...
Do I believe that Jews have to go and sign up at my parish or somebody else's parish? No.
Okay. So do you think Jews can gain salvation or whatever it is they're looking for?
From the same God. You know, Pope Francis the other day said something kind of shocking, but it wasn't very shocking.
He's still living in that Motel 6,
He is. But he said, we do not worship a Catholic God. There's no such thing as a Catholic God. I find that to be very simple and very true.
Yeah, since I was little, I've always believed that there's more than one way to get there, wherever it is we're going. I'm not sure that I think there's anything, but there might be.
Well, I think there's more than one way to get to almost anything.
Yeah.
Right? You say, how do we get to Columbia University from here? There's going to be lots of different ways. I think some are more direct than others, but I think there's lots of different ways.
But, I mean, I just never made sense to me that you had to be a Christian in order to gain access. I mean, it's good if you are, and it's great if you want to believe that, but you could also be a Muslim or a
Well, I probably wouldn't say it like that. I would say that if there is truth, then you can't say something else is also true that contradicts that truth, right? So if you say...
So in other words, it's your way or the highway.
No, it's God's way or...
well, no, but it sounds to me like that's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that I believe that God will give each and every one of His children a way to accept Him in a way that we can't understand.
As long as it's your way.
No, I'm not saying it's my way. I'm saying it's God's way.
Doesn't it sound to you like that, Connell? Sounds to me like you're being a hard ass about this.
In other words, I don't believe that anybody has to be signed up at my parish to get to heaven, all right? Some people, Imus, you may be included in this, I wouldn't even accept in my parish.
That's just not good. That's hurtful.
We don't need Satan badgering
well done, Father.
Father John.
Make me happy.
He wouldn't accept you at his parish.
Wow.
That's the way. That's what you've driven the priest to say.
I'm not saying that you were part of that list, but it has to be. You have to come. You have to come with an open heart.
Holy God!
You're going to have to go to confession.
Do you remember? I do go to confession. But remember last time I was at, you made fun of my hair the whole time, and I might be still a little bit bitter.
Now, so.
It's the same haircut.
Yeah, but it's grown out a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
On the way, happy Halloween.
I like your shirt.
11 minutes after the hour.
Upper West Side, you're
about a half a whack job, isn't he?
that was
funny about the subway.
That was funny, the Halloween stuff. Yeah.
Well, he was saying in the back that it's the 40th anniversary of The Exorcist. I thought pretty ironic.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not funny, Tony. It's stupid.
Yeah. Saying. Power of
Which one of these you want to do? I thought what turns women on? Well, they're both funny.
Okay.
Which one do you like? You don't know which one you like? Jesus.
I like the Suzanne Summers one better, I think.
You do?
Yeah.
Hey, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Yes, sir.
Put the Suzanne Summers thing in a teleprompter.
For when we come back.
No, for now.
Oh, this would be a good time to do it. Practice.
Idiot.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
I said that'll be great.
All right.
For the rest of your morning.
This is definitely one of the better behind the scenes. Yeah.
You really are a fat idiot.
Funny one, though, sometimes.
Really, really.
Continues right now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
what?
Imus in the morning.
What?
Till 5. You're back.
F you.
F me.
Yeah, F you.
I'm trying to help you.
Help me what?
Tell you what time it is.
I was talking to Bill.
Oh, God.
Why didn't you just play the Imus thing?
Who?
Lou.
Why? When?
You're talking.
What?
Oh, no, don't be deflecting the blame. You screwed up. What are you talking about?
Who screwed up? I did?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay that we went late, but don't blame me.
Or me.
Well, who should I blame? You mean it's my fault?
I'm pointing
Well,
at
yeah,
my...
you guys
Okay,
gotta
well,
stop.
I'm fine. Okay.
It's all right. It's
We're
just a
all trying-
mistake.
God, we're just going to make it. We're all
We're
trying
gonna-
to help you here.
We're going to survive.
So, you know, I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to Bill. Well, it's Bill's fault.
It is Bill's fault.
Oh, man.
No,
No,
because
we got it.
what's the matter, Warner?
No, come on.
Well, no, Bill started talking to me,
That's right.
and I wasn't paying any attention.
Well, you guys were talking about a good story, though. The fact it's going to be really windy during the marathon.
But that's the thing that I'm just so delighted about.
Yeah.
Is that the wind's going to be blowing 35 miles an hour. It's going to be 50 degrees. It's going to feel like it's 30.
Mm-hmm.
And although that's not bad to run in, but the wind's horrible. And then if you come off the 59th Street Bridge.
Tappan Zee.
Yeah.
The Golden Gate.
You really got lost there.
Yeah, lost. Wrong way forward.
Did you get directions from Brad?
If you're on the Tappan Zee Bridge running a marathon,
You made a wrong
I
turn.
think I'm a
It
little
will
lost
be-
here, sir.
slightly more than 26 miles.
It's going to affect your time.
We're near the finish line, sir.
As soon as you cross the Gothels.
Even if you're from Ethiopia, you're still going to run about a 9-hour marathon.
Where the hell am I?
Newburgh, straight ahead.
You come off the 59th Street Bridge and hit First Avenue, which is uphill anyway,
Yeah.
and that wind's blowing in your face about 20 miles an hour. Oh, God. And particularly if you, not if you're one of these elite runners, because it pretty much doesn't make any difference, but if you're somebody who's, in the 4 or 5 hour range, oh, man, this is just great because...
Fun to watch.
Because you shouldn't be doing this. You should be home. Drinking beer, whatever you're doing. So, anyway, we got the football game last night. It looked as though the Miami Dolphin people were going to win. Well, they ultimately did. But it looks like they cheated to win, doesn't it, Warner?
Well, it's certainly questionable. If you see it on the Fox Business News, you can see that it ended on a safety. So the question was whether Andy Dalton was tackled in the end zone or whether he was pushed into the end zone. And that was the question. And they said, no, he was tackled in the end zone. But you can
That's
see,
not true.
no, both feet are out of the end zone. In other words, toward the field.
No.
and then he's hit and tackled, and, of course, he goes into the end zone. I would say that was an incorrect call from the videotape. And that's the way it stands. So the Dolphins win it 22-20.
Why didn't the other guy throw a red flag or something? Or he couldn't at that time?
Well, they review a scoring play anyway.
Yeah.
So there was no need to throw the flag.
That's too bad.
They're going to look at it. But, man, from that angle, that was no safety, and it should have been 4th down. The Bengals punt from their end zone.
Hey, any interesting basketball games?
Yeah. Derrick Rose returned. First time in a year and a half.
How'd he do?
He scored 18 points and the game winner with 5.7 seconds left.
Who does he play for?
The Bulls.
Oh, okay.
And that's the question.
All right, we got these games coming up tomorrow. You want to pick them?
Sure, let's go.
Is Denver off tomorrow?
The Broncos are off.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Saints 6 over the Jets.
Yes, Saints.
Okay. Panthers 7.5 over the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons are horrible. I'll take the Panthers.
What happened to the Falcons?
I don't know. They really stink. I didn't know they were that bad.
Cowboys 10.5 over the Vikings.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys.
Titans 3 over the Rams.
No, I'll take the Rams in this one.
Okay. Chiefs 3.5 over the Bills.
Yeah, Chiefs aren't that great, but they haven't played anybody. I'll take the Chiefs.
Well, yes, they have. They played 9 people. Or 8.
8, yeah. I know that's their schedule. So.
Well, what do you mean haven't played anybody? They played 8 other teams.
I think there's only one winning team that they play.
Well, whose fault is that?
No, the schedule maker. Yeah.
What?
The schedule maker. It's not the Chiefs' fault. No, they beat
Chiefs
everybody.
Played who they were scheduled to play.
That's right.
And then they beat them.
You're correct, I-Man. Now, the Falcons lost their 2 wide receivers.
Chargers pick them over the Redskins. What do you like there?
I like the Chargers.
Okay. Raiders 2.5 over the Eagles.
Yeah, Raiders.
Okay. Seahawks 16.5 over.
That's a lot of points, but the Bucks and the Jags are the worst 2 teams in football. Give the points.
All right. Rams 2.5. Browns. Ravens.
Ravens. I'll take the Ravens.
Okay. And New England is 6.5 over the Steelers.
Take the Patriots.
Okay. And the Colts favored by 2.5 over the Texans.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's only 2.5. Take the Colts.
Okay. Now, we've got some interesting college games, Warner.
Yes.
Texas A&M favored by 46.
I see that.
Over UTEP. They're not going to beat them by 46.
If I was betting, well, Manziel will be out by halftime probably.
Yeah.
But the other guy isn't bad. So I would, they'll shut him out. I would say give the points. I'm not
really?
I'm not betting the $100 though. No, this doesn't count. You said it doesn't count, college. Remember I had Texas over Oklahoma.
I've changed my mind. It does count.
Oh, I'm not picking them then.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, no.
Ohio State 32 over Purdue.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You're not going to bet on that either?
No.
Texas 28 over Kansas.
That 28 points. How about that?
You won't bet that either.
But the game of the night is Florida State and Miami. I know Florida State's a 22-point favorite, but they're both unbeaten. That's really the game.
What time will that game be on?
8 o'clock, ABC.
Well,
so
we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, business news coming up. Bernie's got a briefing. Bunch of other stuff. Dice Clay is here, and then we'll talk to Melissa Francis. Her book now, Diary of a Stage Mother's Daughter, is out in paperback. And she's been on a number of times, and there have been questions that we have not ever asked her that we're going to try to get to the bottom of this and resolve this. But before we do that, here's Connell with some news. Morning, Connell.
Morning, I-Man. Well, the Iranian army on the ground in Syria fighting alongside the Syrian army. Now, this is a story that's come in this morning because there are pictures and video that have surfaced of members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard fighting right alongside the Syrian army. I mean, Iran's been denying all along during the Syrian civil war that this is happening, but now apparently photo proof that indeed it is happening. The Iranians involved in Syria. Here in the United States, food stamp benefits today are set to drop for more than 47 million Americans. Now, this is part of the stimulus plan. So they had increased the program, but now that expires, so people will have to make adjustments. Connie James at a food bank in Mississippi says the cuts will be felt.
We give out what we get in, and that's all we can give out. As more people come in, we're doing a lot of praying, and we're doing a lot of asking our community to step up. Don't throw things away.
Well, the way it works out, a family of 4 on food stamps loses $36 a month because of these, now that we go back to be...
What a bit.
Yep, for people, yes, absolutely. For people who go back to what it was pre-stimulus. All right, this is hard to believe, but 6 people, six, signed up for Obamacare day one of the rollout. There were notes taken at an administration.
What?
6 people.
6 individuals.
Well, according to the House Oversight and Government Reform
Not millions.
No.
Yeah.
It's
not thousands.
I had to read it about 30 times, and it's like I said, hard to believe that it's really true. But the House Government Oversight and Reform Committee, it's a Darrell Iss's committee, they released this. And the Obama administration was an internal meeting they were doing on the morning after the rollout, and they said that only 6 people signed up. There were millions who went to the site.
Right.
But only 6 people completed it on day one. Then the next day it was like 100. The next day after that, 250, and on. But official enrollment numbers.
We have more people who sign up for Inside Imus at imus.com
right.
than signed up for Obamacare.
Unbelievable. It sounds ridiculous that 6 people completed their sign-up.
By the way, you want to go to imus.com every day.
Nice one.
And read the behind-the-scenes blog that Rob and Tony write.
Yep.
Because they write awful stuff about all of the people who appear in the program, and, of course, including me.
Yeah.
And yesterday, poor Kinky Friedman got it.
Well.
A number of other people, so... you used to have to be an Inside Imus member to read the behind-the-scenes blog, but then I decided to be charitable, and so that's free now. And you also can check out the Imus Cattle Ranch for Kids with Cancer. Right in the middle of the page there, it says the Imus Ranch. Just click on that. And, of course, Roxanne Roundtree, we're coming up on the holidays here, and, boy, a great gift. Going to make a special push on Roxanne's recipe book. Oh, God bless her. Need to sell about 1 million of these things. So, anyway, Colin continues.
Now let's listen now to the Sky Michael Huerta, the FAA administrator, on the new rules that have come out allowing people to use their electronic devices, their phones and their iPads and what have you, on the plane while it's in the air. He says, though, it's important. You need to listen up. You need to know there are still exceptions to this, and you have to listen to the crew.
Now, it's important for everyone's safety that passengers obey requests to store such devices if need be.
This will be great.
Right.
So
No Alec Baldwins.
Yeah.
Please.
Or remember the Chuck Schumer that time when he was on the phone at they got in a fight with the flight attendant?
He called her the B word.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. So
our esteemed senator from New York.
You have to keep it on airplane mode, though, but you can use them on the flight. But as Dagan had pointed out earlier, you cannot make cell phone calls during the flight, which,
Oh, God, thank God.
So you can use apps and stuff.
All right, time for a little business news. Here with that is Dagan McDowell, 16 minutes after the hour. Good morning, Dagan.
Good morning, sir. The futures are higher, coming off an up month for stocks. And, yep, Halloween is over. Let the holiday shopping season begin. And Walmart today starts offering its online deals a month earlier than usual. Low prices on TVs and tablets. All the retailers worried about this holiday shopping season. And then there's this. Salty snack maker Lay's will roll out a wavy potato chip dipped in milk chocolate. Yep, chocolate-covered potato chips, people, just for the holidays, only sold at Target. Maybe they will launch them nationwide if they're a hit.
Dagan's business report, sponsored by Short Hills Aviation. What's that, Lou?
Football and chips with dipped in chocolate. Yeah.
If you're smart, savvy, and successful, you do not want to fly. Lou, of course, amusing himself there. That's great.
Well,
you want to fly anyone other than Short Hills Aviation, you'd be a fool. All right, let's do a little sports now, and that's sponsored by Peerless Boilers. And here with sports is Warner Wolf. Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, I-Man. Thursday Night Football, was it a game-ending safety or not? The Dolphins blew a 17-3 third-quarter lead, then tied the game with 11 seconds left in regulation, and then won it in overtime when the officials ruled that Andy Dalton was tackled in his own end zone on a 3rd and 10 from his own 8. Here was the call by Dan Horde, WCKY, Cincinnati.
Dalton from the end zone, sacked. That'll end the game. A safety in overtime wins it for the Miami Dolphins.
Wow. Well, if you look at the replay, it seems like both of his feet are on the plus side of the end zone, and then he's pushed in. Here was losing Bengal coach Marvin Lewis.
In my opinion, the quarterback wasn't, the ball was out of the end zone. And so, I mean, he was, but I don't get it.
Keep in mind, if his foot is on the goal line is part of the end zone, then it would have been a safety. But it looks like both of his feet are on the plus side. So it should have been 4th down.
Okay, fine.
That's fine.
I mean, nobody cares about a game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. I mean, we're going over this like it's a Zapruder film. God.
Was there a second tackler?
I mean, come on. We don't care.
Freeze it right there. We'll see.
I mean, F them. Where was the ball?
His foot is on the line. No,
NBA last night.
Did you think when Bernard McGurk played that clip of Joe Buck saying goodbye to Tim McCarver and acknowledging how much he liked Carver and, in fact, loved him? And then did you think that was the icy response from McCarver?
No.
No, I didn't either.
McCarver's he's a humble guy.
Yes.
And again, he may have been choked up.
And I'm sure he was. And by the way, McCarver is not a phony.
No.
He's anything. He's one of the few people, who you talk to who is not a phony. I'll tell you another guy I was thinking about yesterday who's so impressive it's ridiculous. Is Leif Babin.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
And that program that they have, that he and that his partner have, old Jocko, whatever his name is, Roger Ailes is no dope. And they had Leif's company, Echelon Front LLC, do a presentation here at Fox. So they run this place like, I've worked a lot of places, and I've never seen anything run like this. I mean, it's really run well. So it's something I've told you for years. So there's nothing. It's like, I'll give you an example, like the security here. Of course, the security guys here are all former cops. They're all great, by the way. They never, I've been coming in and out of the building here for 4 years. They never screw up. Never. They're never not there. There's never a slip up. So now what Leif Babin's company does is they teach you to apply the training of these Navy SEALs to your business. And what's interesting is that they're more interested when they hire somebody in the kind of person they are, their character, and those kinds of things. Whether they is somebody who's willing to, who has the ability to focus and possesses discipline and the will and those kinds of things, as they would rather somebody not have any experience. In fact, I'll give you another example. I know you're sick of me talking about Joe Beaver, but Joe Beaver's he's like Leif Babin. The reason Wyatt has done so great roping, he's not been roping 2 years, because he didn't rope before he met Joe Beaver. So he didn't know how to calf rope. So he learned how to calf rope from Joe Beaver, which is why he can rope like he ropes now. Well, that's what Leif Babin, that's what their company does. So whether you have, if I had a football team or a car dealership or anything with a bunch of people, I'd call him today. Well, you went to this thing, didn't you, Bigfoot?
Yes, it was awesome. They're very impressive together, but the guy who was his commander, a guy by the name of Jocko Willink, is like, as Dagan said, he's out of central casting. Like, if I was being held hostage, that's the guy I want coming through the door.
But the principles they apply to conducting your business and training your people is remarkable, and it'll be it's like the Jack Welch Six Sigma. It'll be in business books 10 years from now.
Yeah, they say it's all about the leadership. It's all about who's running it, and they are responsible and should take responsibility for everybody under them. That's their main.
One of the most impressive people I've ever met, Leif Babin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Isn't he?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He is outstanding individual in every way, and
even Carly said, she said he's a lot nicer than men from New York, and you generally find that with guys from Texas. I'm not just touting Texas, but I love New York, but guys from Texas they act like gentlemen.
Because their mamas will kick their asses if they treat women badly. That's why.
It's 23 after the hour. Well, we wasted a lot of time. Well, we haven't wasted any time.
Making some important points.
Were you done, Warner?
Oh, no.
What did you do?
Crazy.
We did the football, and
that's enough.
Bulls beat the Knicks.
That's
And
Barney,
good
what do you
news.
have coming up in the briefing?
We have Pamela Anderson on running the New York City Marathon this weekend, and let's see, more a drunken Boston Red Sox fan reaction that should amuse the IMAX.
Well, we want to get to Melissa Francis because we have a lot of questions to ask her, a lot of interesting things to discuss with her, and of course, coming up in about an hour, Kinky Friedman. And here is Kinky from his album, They Ain't Making Jews Like Jesus Anymore.
Just a ragged kid in overalls. He thumbed a ride one day. He told me anywhere you're going is on my way. But as we passed by Big Al's drive-in, his eyes began to flash. He was leaving Rapid City mighty fast. He said, I hope to God she finds the goodbye letter that I wrote her. But the mail don't move so fast in Rapid City, South Dakota. Well, he left her just a blanket of snow upon the farm. And that don't keep your conscience very warm. He said his friends were too darn country, and his pa was too damn mean. And there weren't no money pumping gasoline. And her gentle eyes, the merchandise of dreams, the peddler sold her, who left her there alone in Rapid City, South Dakota.
I start talking about something.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, 5 minutes have gone by, and then you're behind, and then I don't even know where I am.
Where are you?
I'll be standing up on the Tappan Zee Bridge one of these mornings, wondering where is everybody.
Heading for home.
Time for a Bernie briefing at 30 minutes after the hour.
Somebody doesn't push you.
I didn't want to be late for Melissa Francis, but it's time for the briefing now. That's sponsored by My Pillow. Good morning, Bernie.
Morning, boss. Well, you set the clocks back an hour, and the marathon is going to be run, New York City Marathon, this Sunday. And one of the celebrities running is the girl from Baywatch, Pamela Anderson. Her ex-husband made the infamous sex tape with Paris Hilton, and she's made some tapes herself. Anyway, here she is talking about running the marathon with Ellen DeGeneres.
No, I started running and I hated it. Of course, everyone hates running for the first mile. If you're running 2 miles or 20 miles, it always hurts. Yeah. And now I love it. I look forward to it. Actually, it's really good. It clears my head.
How far are you running? What have you built up? What's the furthest you've run?
12 miles.
And when is the marathon?
2 weeks. 3 weeks?
But honestly, you're not going to make it.
I'm gonna make it.
No, you're not.
Well, she'll make it if she's going to need a heavy-duty sports bra. Let's start right there.
Yeah.
But she do you think she'll finish it, boss?
Yeah.
I mean, you're an expert in these things. In fact, you can be watching the marathon from your terrace.
Yeah.
You think she will?
Oh, I think she probably might, yeah. Although you do need to, in training for the marathon, you should have put in a couple of 20-mile runs, 21, 22-mile runs.
Right.
If you've never run 26 miles and you've only run 12, like I used to run 12 all the time, but I've never ran 26.
Well, let's listen to we want to get to Melissa Francis because we're all waiting to hear about her explanation. So let's just quickly go to this NBC affiliate interviewing the Boston Red Sox fans after the World Series victory. Take a listen.
Talk about being here for this momentous occasion. This is history.
This is history, and I'll tell you what, I was not alive during 1918, obviously, and this was more than f***ing history.
I've been alive since probably 1988, and this is the best time ever.
Okay, you know what? We got to say we apologize for that. There are some people out there celebrating.
That was live TV.
Oh, crazy.
This is more than enough in history.
God. So I'm somebody bring up Fox News. That worked, Melissa Francis. Good morning, Miss Francis.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm filled with a little trepidation here. You look very serious. You look like you want to get to the bottom of something, and I'm a little nervous. Connell, can you help me out here?
No.
Not at all.
God.
Now, here's the thing. You've been on a number of times.
Yeah.
You came on initially to talk about your book, Diary of a Stage Mother's Daughter.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of questions I never asked you.
Yeah.
Because I read the first page.
Right.
Which you've been through that a number of times.
We have.
It was a great first page, by the way.
Thank you.
In which you're 8 years old and your sister's how old?
She was like 12. Yeah.
Well, if you're 8.
Yeah, she's 12. Okay. Yeah, I had 4.
And you're driving home with your mom from where?
I can't, an audition, school, something, wherever we were milling about after school. We do a million things after school every day.
And then the mom decided to...
chuck me out of the car by the side of the road.
Got angry at you.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was your dad?
This is so great. It's like my monthly therapy session. I've fired my therapist because I know that I'm going to come see Dr. Don Imus, once a month, and he's going to pull my brain apart lobe by lobe and really pile in and dissect the whole thing until I'm screaming and crying like, poor Father John is out there in the green room weeping into a huge chalice of wine now. You really did a number on him, and now I'm next. All right, what was your question?
Where was your father?
My father, he was at work where he always was. He's a small business owner. He was toiling at work until the late hours.
So, and were they happily married?
Well, what do you think? Yeah, not especially. Not especially.
So where did you lived in Hollywood?
No, I lived in the Valley. I was a Valley girl.
San Fernando Valley.
San Fernando Valley, Northridge, California. Our home was like right at the epicenter of that big quake in 1994.
Okay. And your father was a small businessman.
Yep.
And your mother was?
She was a stage mother.
Okay.
It's Diary of a Stage Mother's Daughter.
Who decided that you were going to get you into show business?
Oh, absolutely, my mother. I was an infant. My sister, was doing a Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo commercial. I was less than a year old. I was making noise on the sound stages. This is how the story is told to me. Of course, I was less than 1, so I don't remember it myself. And the director turned and said, put her in the bathtub too, see if she'll do it. So they stuck me in, and we played and we laughed, and I was in a commercial and got a SAG card and paid my first taxes and the whole thing before I was a year old, and that's how the whole thing started. So no, I didn't choose it, but I did enjoy it.
Did you like doing it?
I did. I think child actors who say they hated acting, I have a really hard time believing that because kids are uncooperative when they're unhappy. So I don't know how you get them to learn their lines and hit their marks if they don't enjoy doing it.
So was your father aware that your mother was putting not only your sister out of the car on occasion,
no,
but you as well?
No.
Did you ever tell him?
No, and lots of people have asked that, and that's my sister and I talked about that a lot, and we always said that we knew we would be alone with my mother again the next day, and it would only be worse.
Right.
So it was better to try and appease her most of the time. I would try and make her happy and juggle her moods.
Okay, on that day that she put you out and you hid up on the golf course.
Yes.
Then she came back and didn't find you.
Right.
And figured, well, the hell with it, and went home, which I find unbelievable.
I guess. She circled a bunch of times and I was gone, so I don't know what else she was going to do.
Get out of the car and look for you.
That's true.
That's one.
Yeah.
So, but she didn't.
Yeah.
She went home, and then eventually you got home.
Right.
And so where was your father at that time?
He was in the kitchen with her talking. I think he assumed I was upstairs in the house somewhere. He had just gotten home.
So when you walked in, and what happened?
We sort of exchanged looks, my mother and I. She was like, there you are. And I walked in, I walked to the refrigerator, and I got peanut butter and jelly, and went over and started making a sandwich. And I remember...
So there was no discussion about what had happened?
No, there was no discussion.
Okay, she's the reason that you got a part on Little House on the Prairie, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so, in doing all of this, I didn't read the book. Because,
it feels like you did, because you've got so many great details.
Well, no, but what did she do that was so awful for you to rat her out in the book?
Well, you should read the whole book. There was a lot of.
I can't do it.
She was the extreme version of what everyone calls today a tiger mom, where you push a child to excellence in absolutely everything. Nothing less than an A was acceptable. We had to be the best at everything we did. And she used a combination of, sort of threatening us with our lives and tearing up our things and physical abuse when we didn't do what she wanted, to, buying us ponies and cars and whatever when we did what we wanted. And it was the typical very controlling relationship. And there was one point, when I was in high school, that I got an A- in AP chemistry, and it was a tough grade for me. I wasn't great in that class. I'd gotten a tutor. I'd worked really hard. I came home from school, and I walked in, and she flicked the report card in my face the same way the Tiger Mom did with the Mother's Day card that she felt like her daughter hadn't worked very hard in the picture. And she said to me, you almost got a B+. That's the same as failing. How could you let this happen? You're a disgrace. And I remember picking up the report card at the moment and just thinking to myself, all right, this is insane. This is crazy. This whole situation is insane, and I'm never going to be happy here. I'm never going to make this person happy. This is never going to work out. You know, I have to take control of my own life and find my own way.
Were you physically abused?
Yes. I mean, we were hit with things. I think I think 20 years ago it was different. Kids were spanked and they were hit with things and, hangers and whatever else and thrown out of the house in the car in a way that happened a lot more often. I mean, there were a lot of cruel and crazy things she did. She carried a hammer around in the back of the car and, if somebody stole her parking space, I remember one time she got out and opened the trunk and took the hammer and smashed in the side of the guy's car and said, take that, and drove off like it was nothing in front of my sister and I. Is that normal?
I don't know, but it's what concerns me is ratting out mom.
Okay. Well, you have the right to feel that way. I think if you read the whole book.
Well, no, I probably would, but I don't know. Why can't we just let this stuff go?
Well, because.
So, at what point did you stop talking to your mother?
I went away to college. I decided to go all the way across the country and sort of get some distance both from Hollywood and from my family and decide, what I really wanted to do. And I didn't
Harvard
go back.
Or somewhere else?
Harvard.
Harvard. How'd you get into Harvard?
By, my mom, pushed me to get straight A's no matter what. And,
what about that A-?
Yeah, that A-, that was terrible. I mean, it was, a gaping hole on my resume. But there was a point in which, I don't want to spoil the book, but my sister gets very ill. And my mother cleans out the bank account and runs off. And then she wants to continue to have a relationship with me. And
your mother does what?
Yes, my sister was in the hospital.
Right.
And my dad was by her side.
Right.
And my mother drained the bank account and split at that moment.
Of your money?
No, of their collective, my dad and my mom's money. I was already gone at this point.
And so she left him?
And my sister, who was dying.
Did she die?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, and she never went back?
No. No, but then she wanted to have a relationship with me. And I said, you can't leave the dying sister and, on her own with no mother and want to have a relationship with the one that you think is successful.
And then do you feel this has been resolved with this book?
To me, it was resolved for me on that day because I said, I have to stand up for what's right, and I have to stand up for my sister. And, I have to have a sane life where I'm not being controlled by the manipulations of this person who's not stable.
So when you were out in L.A. and you did this show,
yeah,
she shows up on the set.
Yeah.
What did you hadn't seen her in
10 years, yeah.
And do you know could you tell what she said? She ran up and grabbed you, right?
Yeah.
She said what?
She was pretty hysterical. She said, I mean, it's hard to even remember. She said, I'm here. I didn't mean it. Why did you do this? And
the book.
I guess.
Yeah.
I would think she was just
Where's
hysterical.
your dad now?
My dad lives in Florida. We talk every day. We're very close.
Is he remarried?
No, he's playing the field in Florida. There's a lot of ladies down there. Sure. He's having a wild time.
Yeah. Do you think this will ever be resolved?
It is resolved. What do you mean think it'll be resolved? It is resolved. I have a happy life. I have a great career here at Fox. I've got 2 beautiful kids. I've got a husband. My dad and I are very close. To me, it's resolved.
So mom's not coming for Thanksgiving dinner, is she?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, no. I don't think so. I think it would be a little bit destabilizing. I think I like nice, calm, everyone's happy, it's all good. I don't need sort of the crazy, frantic, yelling, screaming.
What does she do now? How does she
I have no idea.
exist?
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, she took all the whole life savings, everything that my dad had and bolted. So, she would still have that. I guess. I don't know.
This is screwed up, isn't it?
How about those Red Sox?
The Red Sox, yeah. I mean, this is why I now I'm thinking back and I fired my therapist because, I come on here and sort of, do it all in front of anyone.
I don't
who's
feel like
listening.
we got anywhere here.
You don't? I mean, you delve deep inside my...
Because you're actually a very likable person.
Mm-hmm. Even still after this?
Well, I wouldn't have ratted out my mom or me, but... But that's, I got to do
You
what you
know,
got to
I
do.
mean, if you're, I want to be a writer. I'm an artist. I sat down to write something. This is what, they say, write what you know, write what you're passionate about. I cried while I wrote it. Every word was mine. It's from me. The truth is that my older son asked me if my husband's mom was my mom too. He was 3 years old, and he was trying to figure out, you're my mom. She's daddy's mom. Where's your mom? And I realized that I was going to have to tell him something. So
Did
the
he
idea
read
of
this?
never talk, not yet, but I
How old
had
is he?
never, he's 7. I'd never talked to anyone about any of this, and I thought, rather than hiding my whole entire life and never telling anyone where my mother is, which was how I was living, instead I would be very honest and do the opposite and get it all out there, and there's my story. And if you think it's terrible or you think I'm...
Well, I don't know about
think
that.
what you
I
think.
think it's terrible, but... Well, if you need to come back, let me know.
I don't know. Okay. I'm going to think seriously the next time.
Why? I just wanted...
Make an appointment.
Kind of interested. It's an interesting story.
Thank you.
It's called Diary of a Stage Mother's Daughter.
That's right.
With Melissa Francis, in which she throws her mom under the bus.
A little bit. And Money with Melissa Francis here on the network at 5 p.m. Don't forget.
That's right.
Yeah, a couple people come watch that as well.
It's 10 minutes out till the hour.